head in my negative nasty deal after that Buffalo game where they jumped on
Dolphins number one, baby!
Next up, baby.
Dolphins number
Next up.
one!
I swear, if a certain quarterback is mentioned in the comments, I got my beers ready. I'm going to crack it open.
Or is it the Serbian kid?
Serbia kid,
This looks dumb. Oh my god, it looks fantastic.
I hate you so much.
No, good beat, man. Gotta beat, man. Woo! I'm the man. I said it, and it's reality. All right, now.
Congratulations.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Real Talk Fins Talk. I'm your host, Steve Malloy, and joining me tonight, it's not Rob Mosley, but it's our producer, founder, El Gringo, Bobby Melendez.
What's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, Bobby. How you doing?
I'm all right. You
We
know,
got Rob. Rob is not here tonight. He's
you didn't get Rob, you got Bobby.
That's
So,
right. Rob,
Yeah, that's
you're
all right.
But Rob is actually out with his son. He's down there in Little Havana watching the big World Baseball game with his son tonight.
Awesome.
So hopefully he's having fun. I'm sure he is, but he is missed tonight. He is my co-host here, and I think we have good chemistry together. But hey, you'll do, Bobby.
I'll be all right. I promise. I'll try. Then we say Ken is in the house. Good to see him. Evan, of course, says he needs material, so that's why he's watching. Let's give him material, Steve. What are we talking about tonight, my man?
Absolutely, absolutely. First, I want to mention, ladies and gentlemen, please hit that like button, share, with your friends, your families, or neighbors. Make sure you subscribe too if you haven't subscribed. We're almost at 1,000, and let me tell you, we can't do it without you, folks. We cannot do this show without you. We
806.
appreciate all of you. Appreciate
That's
all of
awesome.
you.
Absolutely.
So, Bobby, we're going to talk tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the free agency signings on defense and offense, and a little bit about want to get a little touch on the subject of Derrick Henry. That's been a hot topic lately. I know you would love to see Derrick Henry here in Miami, and for that matter, I would too. But we'll talk a little bit about that too. But let's just go ahead and start, Bobby, tonight. Let's start with the defensive free agent signings. And, of course, we all know about the trade with Jalen Ramsey, and we know how Jalen Ramsey is going to change the dynamic of this defense.
Absolutely.
He's probably one of the best cornerbacks, if not the best cornerback in football. And he's going to be playing alongside X. And now, my opinion on X, I think X didn't have a very good year last year. He was hurt most of the year, and he just didn't look like he was playing up to par, and I don't know if he's in the decline or what. If he's hit his prime, that's a big question with me. But I know he's got to help there now with Jalen Ramsey. And so, Bobby, what do you think about that? About that move of the trade with Jalen Ramsey?
Oh, I absolutely love it. When the news first broke, I got that, we started that live episode, a breaking news episode. We had you on, Evan, Rob,
Yep.
the Real Talk gang on there. I love the move. I think it's a message from Vic Fangio of where this defense is going. I love the moves in general of how the defense looks right now. Malik Reed, and you got David Long, the linebackers. They're bringing back Van Ginkel. They got Jalen Ramsey. And like you said, David Howard struggled last year. And he's looking to make, I think, you lose Byron Jones, who didn't play last year, but you lose him,
Right.
$13.6 million, and you bring in an upgrade at Jalen Ramsey. The sky's the limit. And you add in Javon Holland, Christian Wilkins, Zach Sealer. I'm very excited, just as the fans, as we all were, about the offense last year when we brought in Tyreek Hill to pair with Jalen Waddle.
Right.
I am equally as excited as as I was there when bringing in Jalen Ramsey to pair with Xavier Howard and that defensive core with the coach Vic Fangio, who is a mastermind on defense.
Right. No, I agree 100% on that. And also, you mentioned we also got another safety, Deshaun Elliott.
Yes, from the
Who,
Lions.
yeah, I think he's going to be a good addition. I don't know if he's going to be a starter, but he'll be somewhat of a role player in there, maybe hard hitter, sure tackler kind of guy, kind of the player that a Vic Fangio would want, and I think he's going to fit real well in his defense. You also mentioned David Long. And David Long is another good signing if he stays healthy. He's another good signing, and I definitely agree. He's going to be he's definitely probably the best linebacker in my opinion that's on the team right now. Now who was the other one? Van Ginkel. Van Ginkel. I was very happy we brought him back. I think he's a really good role player for this team. He's going to probably going to play alongside Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb and Malik Reed. And I think he's going to be he's proven in the past that he's a good player. He's a good football player.
Very good. And for the price. That's amazing. I know health is something we all bring up, and it's funny with Dolphin fans and Dolphins, it's like, we always have to say win healthy. But when you look at the price that we're paying for him, kind of makes up for that. So when he's on the field, it's going to make a huge impact. And what we don't bring up, and maybe you were going to do, but Jerome Baker, the Dolphins have allowed his option to get picked up, fully guaranteed deal. We talked a lot about him getting possibly traded, but it looks like they're going to keep him. And so you add that, maybe Fangio sees something that most fans don't, and that's fine. He's smarter than us because he's coaching. So maybe he sees something. And that's something to be excited about because you got Baker, you got Reed, who could play on the edge. You got David Long, when healthy, one of the better linebackers, especially coverage linebacker. So it's an exciting prospect for Dolphin fans when it comes to the defense.
No, I agree. I definitely like David Long. Like I said, in my opinion, he's probably how you doing, Ruffy, baby? Ruffy boy. Evan's in the house. All right, we got something special for Evan tonight. But getting back to the linebacking core, Jerome Baker. Jerome Baker had a solid year this year. He did. He had a solid year. I'm not mad about that. I feel comfortable with Jerome Baker back there now that we have David Long and the Malik and all the rest. And we brought back Duke Riley, who I think is a real good special teams player. And he's a guy who kind of flies around the field, good utility player. He's kind of quick. And I think he's going to he's going to make a difference too in that defense as well, in a limited role, but I like him as well. Who is it else on defense that I wanted to, let's talk a little bit about Wilkins and Zach Sealer. Do you think Wilkins is going to get his extension and Zach Sealer, or do you think it's going to be one or the other? Maybe we trade one and keep the other, or what do you think, Bobby?
Oh man, I touched on this a little bit. I think all options are on the table. That's what I've seen a few Dolphin fans be upset with free agency just because they don't feel the Dolphins made enough big moves. I think the Dolphins have done very good in free agency. I'm not someone who easily gives flowers to Chris Greer in the front office, but I do for this. I think they've been very diligent and smart. I think the move for Jalen Ramsey, necessary. You restructured his deal. Thank you, Stephen Ross. Give him the bonus. Not a big hit this year. But the Dolphins have set themselves up, as I've brought up on DolphinsThirsty.com, writing an article for him and for Rob. And, if you're thirsty for Dolphins content, go to DolphinsThirsty.com. But talked about it on there, talked about it on my shows. Dolphins have complete flexibility to do whatever they really want in regards of how they proceed, whether it's a trade for a big player, like we were talking running back, we'll touch on a little bit, or what you do with Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealer. in the draft, the Dolphins could go best player available. Best player available could be defensive lineman, defensive tackle. You know, so that would give them the option if they go defensive tackle to say, hey, you know what? Maybe we could trade Wilkins, which I would hate. I mean, I love Wilkins, but
me too.
You trade Wilkins, you get draft capital back, you free up some cap, and you extend Sealer. And Sealer is a very good player. He's going to be cheaper, I believe, than Wilkins. And then you still have a very stout defensive line. I don't know which way they go, but I don't think it's out of the question one of them would be moved. I think it would be Wilkins over Sealer just because Wilkins is going to command more in regards of draft capital and as a salary to the Dolphins.
Yeah, you might be right there. And the reason why I brought that up is because I know the Dolphins had been, I forgot if it was in the combine but they had been talking to some defensive tackles in the combine, I think it was.
Yeah.
From what I heard, they have been speaking to some defensive tackles. So
they talked to two. That's another article I had posted. Yeah. If I could try to bring that up, I could tell you who they spoke with.
Okay.
Quality players too. Let's see what I got here. Let's see if I could pull this up from Mr. Rob's website, which is dolphinsthirsty.com. If you guys want to read up on it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bob. Go ahead, Bobby. Tell them about what you got going on at dolphinthirsty.com since you're a part of that now.
Well, yeah, I'm helping Rob. I'm writing for his site now, which I love. It's one of my passions. I do love to write and talk sports, obviously talk Dolphins, and that's what I'm doing. And I actually have on here for people who don't know and want to see where the Dolphins might be going in the draft. Go to dolphinthirsty.com and check out. It's called Miami Dolphins Visits with Draft Prospects by me. And I have on there who the Dolphins have met with, where they met with at the combine, at the bowl games, in a private workout. Two of the defensive tackles that they have met is Carl Brooks, a defensive tackle out of Bowling Green. It was a private workout, 6'4", 300 pounds, 10 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 49 total tackles. The other one was Broderick Martin out of Western Kentucky. They met with him at the Shrine Bowl. He's 6'5", 330, 31 total tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 2 pass deflections. The private workout speaks a little loud to me in regards, that shows me they were serious enough to go and have a private compared to maybe a public one or a combine visit. Combine visit, sometimes Miami doesn't meet with these guys and they draft them anyway, but that's when it comes best player available. But they definitely meeting with defensive tackles, and they are definitely, I think, exploring that option at 51 or 84. Right.
Okay, great. Thanks, Bobby.
What's up, Gil?
Yeah, how's everybody doing there in the chat? I see Evans in there. California, welcome back. I haven't seen you for a while. We got Gil. How you doing, Gil? Welcome to the show. Let's see who else we got in there. We got I want to acknowledge you guys. I try to acknowledge you as much as I can. Kenna, how you doing, brother? Always like seeing you in there. You get around, Kenna.
He's awesome. Ken is awesome.
He is awesome.
And Gil, I think it's Gil's first time tuning in, man. We appreciate you watching.
Thank you.
He doesn't like what I said about trading Wilkins. I just said it's an option. I think it is an option, but we appreciate you watching, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not saying this is definite what's going to happen. These are just our speculation, options, and throwing ideas out there. But going back to the defensive tackle position, Zeiler, people forget Zeiler last year was a top 3 defensive tackle. I don't know if he finished top 3, but he was up there.
Absolutely, yeah.
So he's definitely a capable defensive tackle, and he wasn't drafted. So, and Wilkins didn't come to he didn't really blossom until really last year, and he was coming on the year before that, but last year is when he really started coming on. So. And he was a high draft pick, if I'm not mistaken. He was up there, and he took a little while to blossom. So
Christian Wilkins was a first-round pick. Yes, he was.
There you go. So it took him a little while to get up there. But anyway, let's go ahead and shift over to the offensive side, since you and I both agree, at least on the defensive side, I think they did well. They drafted, they traded for Ramsey in free agency. They got what they needed. And I think it's just going to make this defense a lot better A lot better.
And the potential to be a lot better in the draft if they go ahead and get a linebacker
Yeah.
or a defensive tackle or some
Exactly.
other player that's there, an edge rusher maybe. It has the potential to be much better, especially. And the other thing we need to touch on is Agba. Does Agba get moved? You know, if you want to extend Christian Wilkins, which would be the best case scenario, get a lower cap hit at the first year or first couple of years, be larger in the back end, and if you want to free up some cap space, do that, and then you could go ahead and trade Agba. Which, again, if Agba stays, I'm fine with it because he is an impact player when healthy. But they might move him to try to get some space. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're all right. You're all right. I was just looking down here at Evan correcting my pronunciation.
He will do that. He would do that.
Is it Sealer or Zyler?
Sealer. That's
Sealer, right?
Sealer. Yes.
I thought I said Sealer. Maybe I didn't. Thank you, Evan. Anyway, for the correction. Anyway, let's go on to the off. He's a character. Let's go on to the offense now. Let's talk a little bit about. I want to talk a little bit about. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Welcome
to the
chat.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome,
all right,
Dave.
Big Dave's in the house. So let's talk a little bit about. I want to talk about the receiving wide receivers.
Yes,
and
sir.
We'll go to the tight end after that. Because he's part of the tight ends are part of the receiving crew. All right, tight end. We already know who the wide receivers are going to be, right? Tyreek and Waddle, no doubt about it. There's a sleeper that we got in free agency that I really like. I really do, and I think he's going to be the sleeper of this team, and that is Braxton Berrios. I think he not only is he going to be really good in our return game as a kick returner, punt returner. But I think as a slot receiver, we might have another making of Wes Welker. He reminds me of a Wes Welker. He's quick. He's a good route runner. He can catch the ball. And I don't think the Jets utilized him as they should have. And I think he's going to be the sleeper of this wide receiver group. And I think he might even beat out Cedric Wilson.
I was just going to ask you. So he's going to overtake. And that's another trade bait right there, Cedric Wilson.
Yeah. Now I don't think he's going to beat him out right in the beginning, but give him a couple games into the season. I think he might work his way into that position, slot receiver. I really do. I think he will.
What's up, Cap?
But as it stands now on paper, our slot, our third receiver is Cedric Wilson. And now we'll talk about Trent Sherfield in a little bit, but just to go a little bit over Trent Sherfield, I think the reason why they let Trent Sherfield go is because of Eazy-E. I think they want Eazy-E to have a bigger role next year or this year, and get him involved in the game more. So I think that's the reason why they moved off of Trent Sherfield. Give Eazy-E that the chance to play for a position, maybe fourth wide receiver or something like that. But who knows? But what do you think about the moves all right, we'll talk a little bit about tight end too. I forgot to mention that. The tight end we got, okay, everybody say, oh, he's not a big splash tight end, blah, blah, blah. No, he's not, but he fits the need of this offense. He's a very good blocker. He's a blue-collar player. He goes in there, he works hard, he blocks, he does his job. If he has to catch, I've seen a little film on him, not a lot. He can catch, and he can run, believe it or not, after the catch. And so I think that was a good move by Greer as well, I have to admit, on the tight end side. And I do believe we probably will draft a tight end.
I believe so too.
How about you, Bob? What's your take on the wide receivers and the tight end crew right now?
No, I think you're right on the money. I like the take on Braxton Berrios. I think, especially with Wes Welker, I know who said it? Was it Tyreek Hill who said 2.0? Somebody said Wes Welker 2.0. I think it was Tyreek.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a potential to do that. I see Dave in the comments. I see G-Man. Good to see you as always. Everyone tuning in. But Steger has a good point. And not really with, in regards to, he said, all seriousness, why don't we not inquire the Dolphins on DeAndre Hopkins?
How you doing, G-Man?
in regard to DeAndre Hopkins, I'm not saying about the point was but I understand where he's coming from because I do think because the way Miami have set themselves up, I think Tucker Kraft, 51, tight end, possibly going. But again, best player available. If it's wide receiver, I could see Miami going wide receiver. I think, they brought in River Craycraft. I think, they brought back River Craycraft. They decided not on Trent Sherfield. They brought in Braxton Barrios. We see as a potential as a return man. You see something more. Cedric Wilson obviously didn't fit. Maybe they bring him back and, they see what, maybe they trust the process on that. But more than likely they move him. Dallas supposedly wants him, or would be interested in having him back. But we'll see. But I think Miami, again, set themselves up to be completely flexible and the draft. And I wouldn't sleep at a wide receiver because of what Dave is saying. It's great to have the number one receiver, Tyreek Hill. Everyone can't argue the fact that he's one of maybe the top right receiver, arguably the number one receiver in the NFL. But you got Jalen Waddle, who's, obviously number 2 on the team, but maybe top 10, top 8, top 5 in the NFL. You need that third reliable guy. Trent Sherfield was that guy for us.
He was.
But it wasn't something like, explosive numbers or anything that would jump out at you.
I think he had like 18 catches or something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. So I think Miami is or will, if the players on the board, maybe I just read on here today, somebody saying that players that might go up, Darnell White from Tennessee, right tackle, or players who might fall, Jordan Addison, wide receiver, Brian Breezy, defensive tackle. It's a lot every year. We say, oh, these players are going to go in the first round or in the top 30, top 32, and end up being at pick 51 or 60. And it's like, how the hell did this guy get here? If a Jordan Addison or a Brian Breezy, of course, defensive tackle, I'd go Brian Breezy at that point because our receiver strength. But if Addison is sitting there and he's the best player available, it would not shock me if the Dolphins went and drafted the receiver just because it's best player available, especially if Tyreek's on a 2-year window.
Right. That's quite possible.
I think obviously the receiving room is a strength. Less likely they do it, but I wouldn't sleep on it. In regards of tight end, Gil says, tight end, defensive edge rusher, outside linebacker, best player available.
Yeah.
He's right on the money. Absolutely.
Yep. I agree.
But obviously, I think tight end and is the more likely spot if they don't do anything there. But I wouldn't sleep. It would probably be tight end, maybe running back. Zach Evans is a player they've met with from Ole Miss. But best player available is likely at that spot.
All right. Let's go on to the here's where I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed right now in Chris Gear in this aspect of the free agency. Offensive line. I cannot believe he's running it back with Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg. And let's not forget, okay, and people aren't talking about this. Armstead doesn't play a full year either. So he's going to get hurt sometime during the year and miss maybe 4 or 5 games. And you never know when that's going to happen. Could it be in a playoff run if we make the playoffs? Could it be, a big game that we really need to win? So that a lot of folks aren't talking about that, but Armstead is I can't understand why he's running back with this O-line when you got a hurt Armstead, 4 or 5 games of the year. And then you got Eichenberg and you got Austin Jackson was hurt last year too. Don't forget. So I'm very disappointed in that. And then you were talking about running back in the draft. Then we run it back with the running backs, which it's no big deal as far as Gaskin is concerned because he can get cut during training camp or whatever. Maybe he's just a camp body now. Who knows? But the bottom line is, here's the thing. We either build this line, which now there's nobody really available as far as right tackle is the most critical one for me. Left guard, not so much. Right tackle and left tackle are most critical for me right now. All right, here's the bottom line. We're not going to get somebody that's a top level offensive tackle or left guard or left tackle. It's going to be somebody, hopefully we get somebody that's just above average. I'll be happy with that. And I think we can go with that with the running backs that we do have if McDaniel chooses to run. So I think we're okay there. But here's the thing. With the O-line that we have right now, the only way that I think the Dolphins can put themselves in a good position to make it to an AFC championship or, for God's sakes, even just a playoff game, get Derrick Henry. He's the only one that's going to be able to do anything as far as running the ball with this O-line that we had last year. Now, I know people say I'm crazy because, Mostert, he had a 4-point-something average, and Wilson, yeah, he did in bad games. And then here's another thing. All that 4.9 that he had on Mostert, it wasn't 4.9 consistently. All right, it wasn't consistent. It was 2 yards, 2-yard loss, 1 yard, 2 yards, 1 yard, 11-yard gain. Then he go back to 1 yard, 2 yards, 5-yard loss, 2-yard gain, 15-yard gain. You see what I'm saying? Now, you put a Derrick Henry in there, he's going to get you 4 or 5 yards every time. So that's what I mean about consistency. That's what we need in that backfield.
So, offensive line, what you were saying, running it back with the same offensive line.
Right.
That's what Miami's preaching. That's what they're saying. I think that's what they want us to believe, and probably the league to believe. In regards to, free agency, I think they weren't interested in anybody. They weren't going to spend big because they have been spending big. And again, it comes back to complete flexibility at 51, 84, 198, or 197, 238. Those are the draft picks. I think if 51 is, or 84, Andrew Voorhees, okay, tours, has a bad injury, going to miss half the year, okay? But the dude still outbenched everybody, 38 reps on the bench press. He could be sitting there at 84, okay? True. And yeah, you're going, but he's not going to start right away. Okay. He's a guard. You start Eichenberg to start the year, you have your backup there, whatever it may be. Then when he comes back in, when he's healthy, there's your left guard for the year. That's what the Cowboys did with who's this guy? I think he was an undrafted free agent though. And the Dolphins tried to fight for him, but they should have just drafted him. I'm forgetting his name right now.
Right.
But anyway, you catch those falling stars. You've given yourself flexibility to get those guys because of what you've done in free agency. They've got in Dan Feeney on interior offensive line. He's going to compete for the guard spot and have that backup role at center.
And then again, he's on the same par as a Austin Jackson or Liam Eichenberg. He might be a slightly little better than Eichenberg.
Here's the thing, though, too.
Maybe
the Dolphins went from 32nd, and they still fired their offensive line coach. They went from 32nd in the NFL ranked the year before to 24th, I believe. Last year, they improved, but they still fired the offensive line coach. They got a veteran offensive line coach now. I think Miami trusts what they saw last year. Not saying it's the right move, but I'm saying that we're saying, why haven't they done anything? Maybe they'll surprise you at 51.
I hope so. And now moving on. Color's in the house. Color commentary. How you doing, everybody? Color commentary. Everybody go ahead.
In the house.
Yeah, Color. He's on Finn's Tailgate. Go ahead and over there and subscribe to the Finn's Tailgate. They got a good show. Color's on there. And I think you'll enjoy that show as well. But anyway, here's the thing. I want to talk about Trent Sherfield, his comments that he made.
Bum bum bum.
Bum bum bum. Dun 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 dun. All right, so the first comment he made about, he wanted to go where there's an elite quarterback. Okay, well, look, I don't care about that. That doesn't really bother me. Josh Allen's not elite. He's not. He's a really good quarterback, but he's not elite. So that doesn't bother me one bit. But here's what I want to give credit where credit is due. He said, his own words, this is a wide receiver that played with the Miami Dolphins, who played with Tua, and he said, Tua is a spot passer. It's all timing. And he throws it to a spot whether you're open or not. He just throws it. He's a one-read quarterback. What have I been saying on this show for the last year? Not only me, but Britt Legassi. Give credit where it's due. And it's not only on this show. I've heard it on other shows as well. And I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. TD Finn's Talk. TD Finn's Talk said the same thing. In fact, I watched a lot of film on his show when he has it, because I don't have all 22. And if you look at the play, that's exactly what he is. He's a one-read spot passer. He's a game manager, and that's it. And he's a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's nothing wrong with that.
Evan, hold on. Evan's watching. Evan, go to the bandwagon. Tati's producing. She's waiting on you. That's why I'm here. She's producing for us tonight, so she's waiting on you. He's watching, so I gotta tell him.
So anyway, I just thought it was funny when I saw that, and I said, man, haven't I been saying that? Haven't TD Finn's Talk been saying that? Hasn't Brett Legassi been saying that? And others have been saying the same thing. So you heard it from the horse's mouth, somebody who actually played with Tua and caught the ball, not from Steve Malloy. Case closed.
So in regards, no, we talked about it all. I mean, Dave was saying, we all discussed it, and again, I don't think it could be labeled as a criticism if somebody believes he's more than what he is. Okay, we talked about it before the season, game manager, everything else, perfectly fine.
Yes.
I love the idea that, you said Josh Allen is not an elite quarterback.
Correct.
So I think it would be a good idea let's take a look at the list of quarterbacks as we're in our closing moments here. And let's see who you think we could go. It's elite, great, good, average, bad. Okay, go through all of them.
All right.
And then let's see who you think is elite, good, great, average, bad. And guys, in the comments below, put in there who you think is elite, average, good, bad, whatever. We start off with who's eventually that's going to be replaced by Aaron Rodgers, but it's Zach Wilson for the Jets. What do you think? Do you think he's average, bad? I go bad. What do you say?
For who?
Zach Wilson.
Oh, Zach Wilson, bad.
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 All right.
Real bad.
Davis Mills.
Whew.
Yeah, I could give you the yard, 3,100 yards, 17 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. They're drafting a quarterback.
Average.
Okay, average. All right.
I wouldn't say he's bad. I'd say he's average.
What about Matt Ryan?
Now, or are you judging from years past? Now? Now he's probably average.
Average. Yeah. Tyler Heineke.
Average.
Okay. Deshaun Watson.
Real good.
Real good. Okay, that's fair. This one's interesting. Russell Wilson. Now, 3,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
I would say he's good. Right, good. Judging by right now.
You say good? Okay.
I say good.
How about Mac Jones?
Wow.
I say average.
I was going to say average because he did make the Pro Bowl one year, right?
Yeah, I'll say average.
Average, yeah.
Marcus Mariota.
I would say bad.
Bad. Okay. Sam Darnold. 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Bad.
Matt Stafford.
Really good.
Okay. Really good. He was injured last year. The Rams struggled, but
he's really good.
When healthy, really good. Andy Dalton.
Average.
Average. Okay. I'm with you on that. Derek Carr.
Good.
I like that one. Kenny Pickett.
Wow. He's probably average quarterback right now.
I'd say below average. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill.
Good.
Good. I'm with you. Good when healthy. Daniel Jones.
And that sounds familiar. Daniel Jones. Good.
I'd say good as well. Not 40 plus million a year good, but good.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I mean, he's had some above average games, really good games, but he's not consistent. So
He's
I
a
would say
system quarterback. That's why he was
he's a
successful last
system
year.
quarterback.
And
Yeah,
that's
there you go.
okay.
Good point. Yeah,
yeah.
good point. Yeah.
How about Kirk Cousins, Minnesota Vikings?
Oh, he's good.
I say very good. 4,500 yards, 29 touchdowns, 14 picks.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
I say very good.
Yeah, I have to say very good too. Yeah, just a step above good. Not I would say in between very good and good if there is one.
So you don't agree with me, but you don't disagree.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Kyler Murray.
Wow, he's kind of dynamic at times. I would just say he's good.
I'll say good right now. It has the potential to be very good.
He does.
Good.
Yeah, I agree.
Brock Purdy.
Ooh. Wow, he only played 8 games, right? 8 or 9 games.
1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns.
Well, you know what? In those games that he did play, wow, man. He had a didn't he have 100 and something passer rating at one time during the season? I would say he's above average.
I'd say above average in that system. We'll see what he does this year.
In that system,
move him up. Aaron Rodgers, potentially this new quarterback for the Jets, his 18th year, 19th year. He had 3,695 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
Man, when he played against our defense, he was really good. I mean, he was elite. But I'm going to have to say he stepped down a little bit in the last year, maybe, or 2. I would say still really good.
I think he's really good. I'm with you. I'll put him in that
he's
category.
Really good. I wouldn't say he's elite.
He could still have elite games.
He could still have elite games. He goes up. He at times he's elite, and at times he's really good.
Absolutely. Justin Fields. That's an interesting one.
Woo, Justin Fields, man. I would say he's a good quarterback.
I'm with you. Good quarterback, has the potential to be very good and maybe elite depending on his skill set. Lamar Jackson.
Really good. If you factor in his passing ability and his running ability and how many touchdowns he scores, he's really good. All around. He's not specific great pocket passer or great. He's just really good at everything he does. If you factor in all of that.
Dak Prescott.
Good.
Geno Smith.
Good.
Jared Goff.
Good.
There you go. 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 4,400. Good for him, man. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, he had a good year.
Dolphins quarterback Tua.
Good.
Trevor Lawrence. Very good, I think.
Very good. Yeah, he's getting really good. Yeah,
just to piss Evan off. Justin Herbert, elite. No, just very good.
No, he's not elite. Justin Herbert right now is, I would say, above average.
Ooh, interesting.
Above average.
That's an interesting answer. I would say very good. Or not, I'll say good. Good, potential, very good.
I think he's just above good. I think he's above average.
That's okay.
I mean, above average.
Josh Allen, I know you say he's not elite. I say he's borderline elite. He's great. Borderline, he has the potential.
Yeah, he's another one that's a dynamic quarterback. He can run, he can pass, he can create, he's innovative, all that kind of good stuff.
Absolutely. Joe Burrow.
Oh, he's really good.
Really good. I think, I'm with you. Yeah. I'm going to say great. Joe Burrow, potential to be elite.
Dave Steger says Tua's above average to above average. That's fair.
And that's a unbiased. That's a Packers fan, so that's his viewpoint right there.
Yeah,
and that's
fair.
Absolutely
that's
fair.
fair.
Jalen Hurts.
Woo, man, he went to the Super Bowl, man. You got to say he
Man,
was
he was playing damn good.
He was playing damn good. He set all kinds of records. He's another one that's very good.
Very good. Close
Yeah.
to being great.
Close to
3,700
being-
yards,
Yeah.
22 touchdowns, 6
For
interceptions,
sure.
760 rushing yards, 13 rushing
See,
touchdowns.
people don't factor that in.
No,
you know,
yeah, they don't. But it
And
counts.
how many touchdowns did he score?
How many touchdowns? I'm sorry. Let me pull that up here. 22 passing touchdowns, 13 rushing touchdowns.
There you go. So that's a
about
total
that.
of 35 touchdowns.
And of course, number one, Pat Mahomes. I say he's elite. There's no question there.
He's probably the elite of the elite in this league right now.
That's
The
right.
dude can do everything.
He can.
He can throw upside down, backwards, underneath his legs, behind his back, you name it. He
He's
can
this
throw it.
era's Brett Favre, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's elite. He's special.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you got bandwagon going on the other channel, which hopefully everybody tunes in as soon as we close this out. I'm very thankful to be on here with Steve.
Oh,
you know,
Bobby, thank you.
Miami Springs Golden Hot. Appreciate
Absolutely.
him. Loves World Pareja. I'm right with him. We could share a dish and and know that we both like the
Don't
food. I
forget
can say,
about
let's
the
look at-
cafecito.
That's right. Some Cuban coffee. I'm down with that. But Rob, man, I appreciate you having me, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Anytime, man. If I do miss Rob, but I appreciate you jumping on here and had a great time. And all you folks out there, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Appreciate you. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, your families, your neighbors, and remember, Dolphins #1, baby.
Hands up, everybody.
Dolphins #1.